After years and years of posting art online, I am finally close to a goal that seems so unattainable. 100,000 followers on Instagram. 100,000 followers is such a huge number, but I decided I want to start again from zero. I have so many reasons why I'm starting this new art journey, and if you're someone like me who struggles with social media, I definitely recommend listening through this video. I have learnt so many lessons, things I would do differently this time round if I want to make a stable income from my art. Whether you have 100 followers, 1,000 followers, 200,000 followers, if you relate to the things I talk about, it might be a good idea to just start a whole new account and begin again from zero. But first, let me give you the backstory. I go by Steph or Eggy, and I've been drawing since as long as I can remember. I made my first art Instagram back in 2015, and it's actually still up, even though I've lost all access to it. At that time, I never really had any goal. I just wanted to share my art and explore and have fun with my art style. I will say that account was very short-lived. I peaked at 22 followers, but I wasn't bothered at all because I was in uni at the time, and also I just got into K-pop, and what I wanted for my art had completely changed. So I kind of deserted that account and made a whole new account, and I said I'm just going to do what I want and draw things that I'm interested in and post pictures of me and my makeup looks. And then I started drawing random pretty people and influencers. I peaked at 3,000 followers before people started unfollowing me. I realized there was really no interest in my art, and it wasn't really clear what my account was supposed to be about. So I started again, and I said this time I'm gonna focus on making fan art, and I'm gonna have no selfies, no anything, just posting art. And that's the account that's almost at 100,000 followers, so something did work out. And that goes to show the first attempt doesn't have to be the one. You can try as many times as you need to try, but for me, there is a reason why I'm starting again. Even though I have a pretty decent following, I definitely went about the whole small business, trying to make money from your art, the complete wrong way. It was actually kind of a happy accident how I started my small business. So this is about 2018-2019. I'm really into BTS and I've been pumping art out, and I think around this time I had about maybe 5,000 followers on Instagram. And then one day somebody asked me, hey, do you make prints? And it blew my mind, wow, somebody actually wants to buy my art. And at that time I had no money. So what I would do is kind of take orders from DMs, and I would tell them, hey, you will have to pay in advance, and then I will order the prints. I had no idea about small business or anything or platforms. I just immediately okay, cool, let me give you some prints. And I was doing that for maybe a few months. It wasn't profitable at all, but it was the start. And then I found out about Etsy, and I decided, let me just move to there and sell on that platform. And it was going really well. Suddenly I was a small business owner with no plan whatsoever. I was making a decent amount of money, but I was very naive, and I knew I didn't like the jobs I was working. And I said, okay, let me just do art full time. It was pretty silly of me now that I look back, but back then I had never seen that kind of money before, and that was especially after I kind of moved from Etsy to my own platform. Everything that was happening was blowing my mind, and I was like, you know what, I can do this, I've got this, let's go, art full time. That lasted about 2 to 3 years before burnout and depression tag teamed me, beat my ass. I was in a terrible state, and I suddenly couldn't draw. All the fan art that I was pumping out was suddenly really difficult to do. I went from drawing every day to barely picking up a pencil once a week, if that. When you feel that way, the last thing you want to do is log onto Twitter and start tweeting and posting art, and log into Instagram and start being active on social media. But that puts you in a really difficult position when your entire income is dependent on you getting traffic to your shops on social media. then, even though I was doing mainly fan art, I still wanted to keep a balance between fan art and my own personal original work. When I get that rare burst of motivation, I'd rush to make the best of it and end up doing more and more and more fan art, hoping that I would make art that people would like so that I can pay my bills. There is a big conversation about monetizing your passion, monetizing your hobbies, and I found myself not having fun anymore, not experimenting. One thing I always wanted to do from the very beginning was explore my creativity. This is me being completely transparent, and at that time I told myself that as long as I made a little bit of money, I would be okay. That's the most important thing, that I have food to eat and a roof over my head. So I kept to my comfort zone, which for me became drawing BTS in graphite, usually in a portrait style, and even to this day I'm still a big fan. But there was something in me that wanted to do more. I wanted to do that and more. I've been posting on Instagram again more consistently. Even if I'm not drawing as much as I was back then, my art has started to reach more people, and even like in the last 30 days it's reached over 1 million Instagram accounts. So there was a lot of traffic going into my Instagram, and so I said, this is the moment. This is when I'm gonna have my shop update. There's so many people coming to my Instagram account. Surely this will be a successful shop update, because I never really recovered after experiencing that depression and burnout and leaving social media on and off for so long. Because I went in with no plan and I just thought I'd be able to do this forever, I didn't really set up any sort of income that would mature over time and mean that I didn't have to work constantly and constantly produce art and constantly be on social media. There was no sort of passive income in any kind of way. So I struggled with my shop and making money for a very long time. I was pinching pennies, and I'm still pinching pennies. And so I saw the 1 million people who had seen my art in the last 30 days, and I said, I got it, this is it. And so I promoted my shop update as much as I could, and it flopped. That same night that I opened my shop, I had an epiphany. I knew I felt creatively restricted in many ways, in some ways by my art style, which I'm really proud of and I will never give up. But I wanted to draw in different ways. I wanted to experiment and draw silly things, and the art I was making was kind of angsty and one sort of vibe. I've always wanted the best of both worlds, having my angsty, darker themed art and also having my silly, light-hearted, cute art, but they just don't coexist well. And so I decided just make a whole new account and start this whole art journey again, start this small business thing again with your silly, cute art, and see how it goes. I've been on Instagram for like a decent amount of time, and I feel like Instagram is a very strange and unusual place. Like, you have small artists who make amazing art and they just never see the light of day on the algorithm, and then you have people saying that they reach 100k in 1 week. It's interesting to say the least, but you can't let following count stop you from making art that makes you feel fulfilled. And if you feel like, okay, you're making art that you love and you do enjoy doing this art, but you want to do more, I really do think like more people should consider just starting again. Like, even with me, as I said before, it wasn't my first account where I got a lot of followers. It wasn't my second account. It was my third time trying before I got like almost 100,000. Sometimes you have to like understand and create goals for yourself and know what direction you're going with your art. There's so much I want to do that now that I've opened up this new avenue, the possibilities are endless. My fan art is going to benefit from me being able to just go to a new account and post my silly characters and my mini comics, and I feel so excited to make art again. Like, I pulled out the brush. I haven't touched my brush paints in like 3 years. They were like rock hard. I do have a Patreon alert pop up whenever something Patreon related is shown in my videos. So this time I've shown the 8 ball print and the digital download. Patreon allows you to have a direct contribution if you want to support me and want to see how far Eggy's Planet goes. I do have a tip jar tier and loads of physical rewards tier and a digital tier, and I know I'm like the first person ever to like start a Patreon with 0 followers, but I'm really excited and I haven't felt this way about creating in a long time. Suddenly I feel like I can do everything, and I would really like for there to be people to see me develop my comics, work on animations. Even if you can't financially support me, you can join as a free member, and I'd really just appreciate your presence and the more support of having people who are interested in what you're doing. So yeah, check out my Patreon. The rewards are really nice. I'd love to get to the point where I'm making YouTube videos about Eggy's Planet merch and prepping for a shop update. Let's hope I get there. This is just an introduction as to why I'm doing this, why I started Eggy's Planet. So much more to come.